Okay, folks. Here is the example question that we have. Today is the review lesson on finding the area of a circle. Now, if you know by now, one thing that you should know is that the area formula is the only formula that just has one way to get to area, and that's through the radius. A lot of times you're going to get a question that gives you a distracting piece of information like the diameter, and it's up to you to figure out how to find your area based on what you have. So when I'm looking at this, I see that the diameter is 8 centimeters. That means that the distance across the middle of the circle, the distance of the line that cuts the circle in half, is 8 centimeters. That's the diameter. That isn't the radius. We need the radius to be able to solve this. So keep this in your mind, lock this in your brain. I am going to go over to my whiteboard so that we can see exactly what's happening. All right, so I just had a treasure chest of information. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. What happened? All right, there we go. So here I have like my little treasure chest. We can call this like a treasure chest. This is all the information that we're ever going to need. You should probably create a sacred, super sacred place in your notebook where you can just keep all of your formulas so that you can go back to them whenever you need, like how I'm doing this right now. So with that in mind, my formula for finding area of a circle is pi times radius squared. We know that when we see an exponent, we're not multiplying that times 2. We're multiplying that value of the radius times itself. So here in the question, we know that the diameter, we're going to take what we do know, which is the diameter. In this example, we know that our diameter equals 8 centimeters. Currently, that doesn't help us. We need to turn our diameter we need to find our radius from our diameter. And we know that we do that by taking our diameter and dividing it by 2. So if our diameter is 8 centimeters, we divide that by 2 to find our radius, which means our radius is 4 centimeters. Now we can use this for our formula. So here I'm going to take my formula. Oh, and another thing that you guys can do, if you don't know how to put that exponent in your computer, I know it's a super complicated thing to be able to figure out. Although if you Googled it, it would tell you how to do it in like 3 seconds. But if you didn't want to put that exponent there, you can put R and then that little up arrow to whatever exponent you want to do. So either one of these works. I'm going to use the fancy way because I'm fancy. And plug that in. Boom. Area equals pi times radius, which is 4 squared. Why must you do me like this? And when in doubt, use raises to the second power. Let me be great. All right, and then we do area equals pi times, and instead of doing 4 times anything, we're gonna do 4 times 4 because that's what 4 squared comes out to. It's just multiplying 4 times itself twice. And then from there we can get our answer. Area equals pi times 16. 4 times 4 is 16. Now your answer is either going to be your area is equal to 16 pi. If you were, so I'm going to copy this. I'm going to reset the steps a little bit, just like a little bit further down. If you were to find the answer using 3.14 instead, then this is the step in which you would substitute 3.14 instead of pi. and then your answer just gets a little bit different. So instead of using pi, you're gonna use 3.14. Area equals 3.14 times 16. And then your final answer is gonna be whatever the answer of 3.14 times 16 is, which is 50.24. The other thing that we can do, I'm gonna like, again, show you guys how to do this. I'm going to go to my calculator. And what we wanna know, what do we wanna know? We wanna know what pi times 16 is. And the answer is 50.265. Now that 26 is going to be rounded up to 27 because 5 is what we use to round it up. So 50.27 is going to be our final answer. And I'm going to go back to my whiteboard. 50.27 would be our final answer for this one. If we wanted to take it a step further and like actually multiply 16 times pi, it would be 50.27. Which is really close to what we got when we just rounded 3.14 instead of using pi as a full answer. So these are the answers if you find the area using pi. This is the answer if you use 3.1 instead of pi. Notice in both times I multiplied 4 times 4, or whatever my radius is. I did that to the second power, and that's what made this helpful. So hopefully this video is helpful. Make sure you're paying attention to radius versus diameter. That's how you're going to be able to get those correct answers. Looking forward to seeing you guys like really crush this parts of a circles review this week. So do your best. Make sure you're like getting those at-bats in there. Looking forward to grading and seeing you guys' answers. And somebody come to office hours and come talk to me. Sheesh. What's wrong with you guys? All right.